Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Cobra Kai Studio for another fan questions video. A video where we just debate about questions, talk about what your answers to these questions might be, what mine might be, what my theories are. I love to hear what your theories are. And in tonight's video, we actually have quite a bit of you all starting to help answer some of these questions, which is something I really enjoy, you know. It don't always have to just be me answering these questions. If you feel like you have a different answer or maybe a similar answer but a little different way to say it, feel free to comment. You know, these videos are not just mine, they're all of ours. We're growing them as a community, so therefore everybody's allowed to be involved in them in any way. Like tonight we have Mike H, who has helped comment on a lot of the questions as well, so I'm going to include his answers as well as mine. Some of them might be similar, some of them we might disagree on it, you know? And that's part of these debates, you know? It's not a debate if we all agree on the same thing. And I'm not distracted tonight, I'm not multitasking, so we shouldn't have no errors like last night's where I mentioned, you know, Stingray wasn't in a certain scene that he actually was in. So, apologize for that. You know, my head was not in the right space to be filming last night, but at the same time, I wanted to get a video made for you all, so things happen. But we're going to start off with Scott's question. Do you think Miyagi's Medal of Honor will be brought up in Season 3? Like, will it be brought up again? I'm having to think about that one, you know. I'm trying to think of what they might, or why they might want to bring that up again. I would say maybe. My opinion would be maybe. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe they won't bring it up, but maybe we'll see it hanging on the wall or something. I don't know. I can't think of a reason why they would actually bring it up again, unless it just gets brought up by conversation for some reason. I feel like what they needed to do with that was already stated in the previous seasons. So I don't know. That's just my opinion, Scott. If you have any kind of like ideas of why you think they would or how you think they would, please feel free to comment and let me know. You know, I'm curious to see what everybody's answer on that might actually be, because me personally, I can't really think of a reason that they would, but then again, there could be plenty of reasons if you just sit here and think about it, maybe, you know. But that's interesting. On to a comment, which is from the Coffee Time 4, which is answering a question from yesterday's video, or kind of debating my answer to the question, I would say. To be fair, at the time Johnny opened the new Cobra Kai, he was told that Kreese was dead, which yes, he was. He sure was, and he actually thought Kreese was dead. So he could not ask permission from someone that he was told was dead, and everyone else believed he was dead. So how can it be the same as someone opening a dojo while the owner of the original is still alive? And, you know, makes sense. Fair point. Office time. That was just my, like, kind of speculation of how there could be conflict with Johnny and the whole Kreese thing and who rightfully owns, you know, the Cobra Kai. And you're right, you know, Johnny obviously assumed he was dead, and you've heard him say he doesn't know who Silvers is, so to him, he probably felt like, yeah, he had every right to open it. And for that standpoint, you're absolutely right. He would technically have the right. Now, of course, after he found out Kreese was alive, that kind of changes things, but at the same time, maybe he was, you know, in the right this whole time to just, you know, start Cobra Kai again, you know. Obviously, you make a good point, you know, he didn't know that Kreese was still alive at the time. At the time of that happening, he assumed he was dead, and everybody else thought he was dead, so I like that comment. I like your answer, Coffee Time. That's great that you actually interacted and left your own answer and debate to my question, because that's what these videos are about, you know. You don't have to agree with me, and I actually prefer people not always agree, because then it allows me to see your point of view of why you think something, which in some cases I've already explained has changed my actual opinion on things that I was thinking when I first started this channel, you know, and that I think that's even more badass, you know. More than welcome to change my opinion on things, you know. That makes this community great. It allows us to just kind of sit here and debate about different topics, ideas, and hash things out in our own way, you know, and grow as a community. So keep it up. I really appreciate y'all doing that. On to the question from Aaron. Why did Daniel not tell the Miyagi-Do students that he was in a death match? Huh. I don't know. That's a good one, Aaron. Maybe he didn't want to, like, I don't know. That one's hard to think about. I would say maybe he didn't want to actually have his students wanting to think about things like that, as far as, you know, death matches and fighting in that kind of a way. I think he still wants them to kind of be more peaceful about their learnings, and obviously be more on the defensive and not having to think about such things like that. But in a real world fight can, in a sense, turn into a death match, if you understand what I mean. As in, you could be in a situation where you're walking down an alley and these group of people comes at you with weapons, whereas in a sense you're in a death match, you know. Not that you have to kill them to win, but at the same time, you yourself could be injured in such a way that you could die. So that's interesting to think about, Aaron. If any of you that are watching have any ideas of why you think Daniel didn't tell his students about a death match in a sense or anything like that, or bring anything up like that, please feel free to comment. Or if you're in the premiere, feel free to let us know in the premiere what your whole thoughts on that is. On to the next comment from Evan Koch. Johnny had more rights to the name than Kreese for this. Kreese should have gotten prison time for the child abuse. Johnny was not 18 yet. With enhancements for himself being a black belt, legally your body is a weapon if you are a black belt. Yeah, that's exactly right. I remember being told that from my sensei, aka my master. And it's true. When you're trained to be a black belt, and especially when you get higher into the black belt rankings, you are, in a sense, a lethal weapon. You're a trained lethal weapon with your hands, feet, whatever be the case. And to boot it, was not even just an adult assaulting a minor on the street randomly. Johnny was under his supervision. As far as I'm concerned, Kreese owes Johnny major restitution. And so me still in the dojo name is fair game. And that's also answering the question of why Johnny, was able to take over and start Cobra Kai. And that's a hell of an explanation, Evan. I like that. That's a lot of interesting points that you got there. And it's true, it really was. Johnny wasn't 18 at the time of Kreese doing what he did to him. And you're right, Johnny was technically under his supervision, and it shouldn't have went that way. So yeah, I can see your point of why you would state that Johnny had every right to, take Cobra Kai and start Cobra Kai for himself. So that's interesting to hear. I like that idea. That was really nice comment on your part. On to the next question from Aaron. What if Daniel had an affair with Kumiko in Okinawa, and that's why he was upset in the trailer? Okay, Mike H actually provided an answer to this, but I'm going to provide my kind of speculation, which kind of coincides with his. I would say I don't think Daniel would be the type to do that. I feel like Daniel would be very faithful to Amanda, regardless of how she feels about the whole karate. I mean, for one, that'd be a really stupid reason for Daniel to cheat on Amanda just because she wouldn't let him train his students, you know what I mean? So, me personally, I do not in any way think that that's going to be a case. Now, it's not to say that Daniel won't, for any reason, maybe see Kumiko in Okinawa, but I don't think she's even in Okinawa. But here's Mike H's response to your question, Aaron. Aaron Kreese, I don't think Kumiko stayed in Okinawa. In Karate Kid 3, it was mentioned she moved to Tokyo for a dance offer. I think she stayed there. She probably didn't come back because Chosen tried to kill her, and he's still in Okinawa. So, she stayed in Tokyo for safety reasons. That's a nice answer, Mike. I like the way you worded it, and yeah, I could agree with that. I don't think she's actually in Okinawa at all. I feel like that's not something we'll see, and I don't even know if we'll ever see her again. Now, if you feel like we might, or you have a different way to answer that question, or your own opinion on it, feel free to comment and let me know what you think, because I like learning from y'all just as we're sitting here talking about things, Another question from Young Gun. Will someone do the crane kick again? I could see it happening. Honestly, I could feel like maybe if we do, I don't know who would do it, though, if that's the case. Maybe we see Daniel do it again, you know what I mean? I wouldn't rule it out that Daniel might actually do it again in some kind of a way. Maybe when he's fighting Chosen, practicing with Chosen. I mean, it would be interesting to see regardless. So, kind of interesting to see. I like that question, Young Gun. I'm curious how that might actually play out in the further seasons. So, I wouldn't rule it out to not ever see that again, you know what I mean? I feel like there's plenty of ways and plenty of students that could actually do that again. But considering Miguel was the one that we seen do it in Season 1, I feel like it would only be fair if we see Daniel do it again, right? Now, maybe you have a different idea or opinion on that, but that's my opinion, A comment from DJ Love SL. Bonsai Kai Dojo sent me. Good job, buddy. Hugs from Canada. Sensei and guest Sensei, amazingly kind of you to help your fellow Cobra Kai fam. Thank you for commenting, DJ Love. I appreciate it. And yes, thank you, Bonsai Kai Dojo. Y'all have helped me a tremendous amount, and I appreciate it more than y'all know. On to the next comment from Jared. What if Miguel recovers and fights Hawk in the All Valley Karate Tournament, and Hawk obviously loses? That would be really cool. That really would be. And I feel like no matter the situation, I honestly feel like Miguel would honestly still win in that situation. Now, obviously we know him and Hawk are not on bad terms, at least not at this point in time. Now, it's not to say they won't be moving forward in Season 3, like let's just throw a random option out there. Let's say, obviously Miguel tries to show up at the Cobra Kai studio, realizes Johnny is not the sensei anymore, and that Kreese took over. And Hawk and them decided to stay with Kreese, including Stingray. Didn't forget him this time. But let's just say that that's the case, and say Miguel's like, okay, I don't want nothing to do with this. Johnny's my sensei. I don't want nothing to do with you all. And I can see Hawk not exactly being an enemy of Miguel, but maybe trying to convince him that he should stay and be trained by Kreese. Maybe that could end into a conflict. I don't know. What do you think would actually cause Hawk and Miguel to be on bad terms, honestly? What's your opinion on that? Do you think they'll ever be on bad terms? Because let's not forget, they were friends, and there's nothing stating at this point in time that they're not still friends. So I wouldn't say for sure that that'll ever be something that we see exactly happen, but at the same time, let's just say that they do. And because I feel like Miguel is going to stay true to Johnny regardless. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to be enemies with Hawk, though. Just because they're not going to be maybe training in the same dojo don't exactly mean they'll be rivals or enemies right off the bat. So let's just assume that they are, though. What would you think? How do you think that would play out? Me personally, I could see it happening in some ways, but at the same time, I don't know that I'd see Hawk and Miguel actually become enemies. Unless something serious was to lead to that. Now, some speculate maybe Hawk and Tori might get together. And yeah, I could see that pissing Miguel off. I could see that making an issue. I don't know that Tori would be interested in Hawk, though. So, what do you think, though? I love your comment, Jared. They don't even do karate in the movie. They do kung fu. It still pisses me off when you're talking about the fourth Karate Kid, the new Karate Kid. Yeah, I agree. They do their own, a different style of kung fu, basically. And I mean, honestly, karate, in a sense, is kung fu. It's just different in America, so. But I understand your point. It is different. It's not the same kind of styles and trainings, and I guess it's to be expected since Jackie Chan's the master in that one. So, I don't know. We'll not talk about that movie too much, though. Not a big fan of it. On to the next question from Aaron. What if Terry Silvers and John Kreese had a fallout after the All Valley tournament in Karate Kid Part 3? I could kind of see that, honestly. I don't know. I guess it kind of depends. I don't know. What do you think, though? How do you think that might actually have played out? I think that Silvers would still, in a sense, back John up if needed. Now, it's not to say that they don't exactly have a, built-up type of anger against each other because of how things played out. But that's just kind of how I see things with that. Now, we have two people that answered your question as well, which was Mike H. and Evan Koch. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, Evan Koch. I hope I am. If not, sorry about that. Aaron Kreese. Yeah, I think Kreese got angry. His plan didn't work, so he took it out on Silvers and Mike, like he did on Johnny Silver, and Mike left Kreese, and they will come at the end of Season 3. That's a nice way of wording it, Mike. I kind of get that, too. It's like, it's hard to really think for sure how that could have played out, because after the movie ends, there's not too much that we know from that point until Cobra Kai. So it's like a lot could have happened between Kreese, Silvers, Mike, all of them, you know what I mean? But I could see that Kreese, with his anger problems, for sure could cause some issues there. And then this is Evan's answer. Well, I guess he could hurt Terry's feelings, but I doubt he could physically abuse him like he did to Johnny, right? He could strangle Mike Barnes to death, but maybe Terry would step in to prevent that? Question mark? Yeah, I get what you're meaning there. I don't know if that Kreese could ever beat Silvers, in my opinion, either. I feel like that would have been a little far-fetched for that to actually have happened. Mike Barnes either, though. I don't know. I feel like Mike Barnes could have put up a good fight against him, but at the same time, at the heat of the moment, with Kreese being in more of his prime back in the day for those movies, maybe not. What do you think? Who do you think would win out of those three? Let's say Kreese versus Silvers. Who do you think would win out of those two? And then let's say Mike Barnes versus Silvers or Kreese. Out of all of them, who do you think would be the top fighter of them? I would say Silvers, maybe Mike Barnes. I don't know. That one's a hard one to decide, really. Right now, I mean, to this day, I guess I would choose Silvers or Mike Barnes over Kreese being the victor, but I don't know. That's just my opinion on that. Let me know what you feel about that, though. If you have any ideas or debates or theories on that, let me know. On to the next question from Jim. Kreese may have every right to take the dojo, but Johnny is the one that got Cobra Kai reinstated. Answering the question that I talked about. Yeah, you're right. You know, a lot of people have made very good points on this, so I get it. And then Todd Rossman commented, yeah, legally, I have to agree with you. Kreese did own the rights to the business name. However, it won't last long. Kreese will corrupt it, and the kids, once again, within a year or two, he will be out of students and business. Mistakes Johnny made was he should have named it Lawrence Karate or something, but his ego got the spite. Hey, that's interesting. I like your comment, Todd. Yeah, Legally, yeah, like I said, like I was just explaining, like, the legal standpoint behind things, like how someone could come in and take over. And that's why I explained my answer to the question in yesterday's video the way I did, is because legally, yeah, I could see the problems there, but as far as the whole show point goes about it, I get, why things played out the way they did. We also have another comment from Evan. Kreese was his own worst enemy. He had a successful business, maybe the most successful dojo in the geographic region. Had he just swallowed his pride and accepted Johnny's close second place trophy, his dojo would have done just fine. He threw away his business, and setting up a successful business is not easy. Yeah, that's a nice way to explain that, Evan. I love the way you explained that. And it's true. He let his anger get the best of him. So, kind of, what can you do, really? I mean, Kreese will be Kreese, right? On to the comment from Scott. John Hurwitz on Twitter said that the Season 3 episodes will be longer, some over 35 minutes. I believe that was a past question you had on your show. Yes, it sure was. And the great thing about that is, when I was talking about that question, just so happened to be the video that Hayden Schlossberg decided to randomly share on his Twitter and joined in and started chatting with us in the premiere. And actually said that. He explained that most of the episodes are going to be a lot longer than the previous seasons, and some are even going to be close to the 40-minute mark, which I think is super badass. Still surprised that he showed up in my video, but hey, we got some answers to a couple of questions that he decided to answer, so I thought that was even more badass, you know what I mean? So that was really cool. Another question. From Jim. Stingray was in the dojo when Johnny walked in on him. Yeah, he sure was. I made a mistake in yesterday's video. I was multitasking and wasn't really thinking about the question too much when I was answering it, because let's be honest, Stingray is not my favorite character in the show. I don't not like him, but he's just not one I think about too much, and I don't know how this happened. I have seen the season 1 and 2 a lot of times now, and I still never paid attention to Stingray being in that last scene. I don't know what the hell. I don't know how that blew over my head, but it did. So, sorry about that. On to the next comment from Aaron. Why did Daniel not teach the drum technique in Cobra Kai Season 2? That one's a good question. I feel like that's not something that he wants to teach his students right now. Now, it's not to say he won't ever teach his students, but me personally, I just feel like that's not something he's trying to teach his students right now. So, it's just my opinion. If you have any other idea or debate about why you think he hasn't taught the drum technique to any of his students, like Sam or Robbie, or, you know what I mean, that you would think that one of them two would have been taught it. But it is more of like a advanced technique and something that you don't really see used very often. Now, Mike H. actually answers this in a very interesting way. He says, I think it's used only as an emergency or as a last resort. When Daniel saw it in the Karate Kid 2, Miyagi didn't tell him about it until the end when Chosen was about to kill Daniel. Everyone started swinging it. Switch signaled Daniel to swing left and right, and I think it'll be used to save someone's life. Maybe Robbie in a deathmatch type situation in jail with another prisoner trying to kill him, and Daniel and the other Miyagi-Dos come and start swinging it, which saves Robbie. That's interesting. I like your answer to that question, Mike. I kind of see it as like an emergency last resort type move as well. And that'd be interesting to see if maybe Robbie does, or Sam, or any of the students actually do have to use it in some way, say for some kind of deathmatch type situation. That would be kind of interesting, and that would obviously provide a hell of a twist for the show. So I think that'd be interesting if we do see, but I don't know. What do you think, though? Why do you think Daniel hasn't really taught any of the students that yet? Or do you think he might have and just hasn't really shared it with anybody? You know what I mean? Like, it's like something we haven't seen yet as far as so far in the show. On to a question from Quiet Lightning. Anyone know if Netflix will release all 10 episodes of Cobra Kai Season 3 at once? I just joined Netflix and I don't know how they operate. I can't find the answers anywhere. Okay. This is just my opinion on this. I'm assuming for like at least 90-95% sure that's exactly how it's going to be released, is all 10 episodes at once. Netflix is not very known to do one episode at a time. The way they usually do seasons is they'll do 10 episodes at once. Now, for a lot of shows that are 20 episode seasons, what they'll do is they'll do two halves. They'll do 10 episodes at one point of the year, and then like 6 months later, they'll do another 10 episodes. Now, that's happened with quite a bit of shows. There has been like rare occasions though of certain shows where they release them like episode by episode, and it's only been a few. I can't even remember the one that I actually seen that my wife liked. She liked the show and they were doing that. They would only release one episode like every other week, but this was like a very long time ago. So I don't think that that'll be the case. I'm pretty sure with season 3 we're going to get all 10 episodes right away. But Netflix can throw some curveballs at us. I just don't think that they would, do that. Though I feel like we'll get all 10 episodes. So, hope that answers your question. But on to the next question from Aaron. What past Karate Kid characters would you like to see come back in Cobra Kai Season 4 or Season 3? The biggest character from the old movies that I would honestly love to see come back is one that can't. Mr. Miyagi. That would, hands down, be the most excited and the most anticipated character for me to see come back. But obviously, he can't come back. So, next up would be Terry Silvers and Mike Barnes. Those are just my, top 3. Now, obviously, of the 3, 2 of them actually can return. And I know there's a lot of fans that would like to see Silvers return, as well as Mike Barnes, Dutch, and plenty others. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion of who I would like to see come back, though. I don't know that we will actually see them come back in Season 3, at least not all of them. So, I wouldn't mind, I guess, if Allie returns, too. I guess it wouldn't be the worst thing or the best thing. I'm just kind of incontent if she comes or not, you know what I mean? It is what it is on that. If you're a big fan of Allie or you'd like to see Allie return or any of the others, let me know. Let me know how you feel about it. Will there be a new karate technique that Daniel will learn from Chosen? There's a lot of speculation to what he's going to actually learn from Chosen, what he's going to be training with, or what he's going to be doing with Chosen in general. Now, with how the show progresses, and it seems like that's a big part of how they like to make the show progress, is the students learning new things as the seasons are progressing. So, maybe we will see Daniel learn something new. I know there's obviously looks like him training with weapons are chosen in that little snippet that we got from the Netflix, release of Season 1, Season 2 on their platform. So it makes you kind of wonder what all Daniel's going to do with Chosen when he actually gets to Okinawa. And maybe that will be something we see, Aaron. I'm not going to provide my own answer here because I don't know enough to really say, yeah, he's going to learn something, or no, he's not going to learn something, So this is my ideas. I would like to see that, but I don't know that we will. Who trained Tori in the karate or in kickboxing? Now, there's really no answer to that, Aaron. It could just be some random person. It could be Silvers. It could be Dutch. It could be Mike Barnes. It could be a handful of people. But there's a lot of speculation that it's possible that Tori was actually sent to Cobra Kai to, infiltrate it and cause conflict by maybe Terry Silvers or something along that lines. And I've heard quite a bit of people come up with this theory and speculation. And it kind of would make sense in a sense, you know what I mean? I'm not to say that that's exactly how things played out, but it kind of would make sense, though, maybe that she was infiltrated to cause havoc between Johnny and Daniel even further so. Maybe Kreese set it up, who knows? I guess it's all speculation. It's all just theories. Maybe you have some crazy or awesome-ass idea to, comment and let me know. I want to know what you feel about this and what you think Tori's overall motive or why Tori showed up in the show even is. On to the next one. Does Daniel still have feelings for Kumiko? That's kind of with the other one. I don't think so. I feel like he's pretty faithful to Amanda. And if anything, he might still have some kind of thoughts about Allie, but not per se feelings. You know what I mean? Because obviously he's kind of kept track of Allie. But I don't think he has feelings for them. That's just my opinion. I see Daniel as being faithful and loyal to Amanda, regardless of how Amanda is. But that's just my speculation on the whole idea. Now, maybe you have some kind of different idea on how you feel Daniel is with, is he a good person? Do you think he's someone that would actually be unfaithful to Amanda, cause more issues that don't need to be caused? I don't know. I just don't think that would be Daniel. Just my opinion. And it's not just because my name's Daniel. On to the next one from Aaron, which will actually be our last question for tonight's video. What if Terry Silvers opens a new dojo and he gives it to Johnny? Well, the thing there, though, is, does Terry Silvers even know who Johnny is fully? And does Johnny know anything about Terry Silvers? Because he stated he don't know who that is. So, does he? Or was that a lie? And he actually does know things about Silvers. Now, just because Kreese and Silvers were close doesn't necessarily mean that Johnny has to know who he is. You know what I mean? So, that would be my opinion on the whole matter. I don't think so. I don't think that Johnny would get given a dojo by Silvers. That's just my opinion. Now, I feel like Johnny's going to go about his own way. Now, let's just say that Johnny's stepdad, Sid, does pass away and leaves Johnny an inheritance. If that's the case, then technically Johnny could start his own dojo again. Now, obviously, I don't know if it'd be Cobra Kai, But he could start his own dojo, and I don't know how that would play out into the show or why they would want to do that. I feel like it'd be better for Johnny to take the dojo back from Kreese, whatever means necessary, I guess, or whatever would actually allow that to happen. It would be something I would like to see. It's not for sure something we will see, I guess. It's just all speculation, you know. But before we actually get out of here, if y'all haven't checked out Bonsai Kai Dojo's video, y'all seriously need to, because he shared some very interesting points and some very awesome news about Season 4 of Cobra Kai. I guess John Hertz was on his Twitter and answering people's fan questions and had stated that Season 4 is set to start filming in early 2021, which if that's the case, then we could probably expect January being Netflix's set release date for Cobra Kai. So if that's the case, and besides, this pandemic, if this pandemic don't cause any issues, they should be able to start filming in January, February, something like that, early 2021, and hopefully get everything done by January 2022, so that way Season 4 can air. So, what are your thoughts on that? Are you excited to hear the news that, they're getting closer to even starting on Season 4, which is great, because then we shouldn't have to wait so long to get Season 4 like everybody's had to wait for Season 3. And I'm sure most of you are all like, yes, we don't want to wait a hell of a long time for Season 4. We want to keep the Cobra Kai, train rolling. But that's going to be it for the fan question videos, everyone. I hope more of y'all will become more interactive and leave comments and questions and theories and answer questions and, build this community as a badass Cobra Kai community. I have other videos that I make that are specifically for me and my ideas and what I want to make, like the fight breakdown scenes, because yes, I have been trained in martial arts, and martial arts has been a part of my life for over 15 years now, so I have quite a bit of experience. I have my own knowledge in Taekwondo, which is, a little different than what we see in Cobra Kai, but at the same time, I enjoy providing my own feedback and making those videos, which those I don't premiere. I'm keeping the premieres for just the fan question videos, because these are our videos. Yeah, I make them and put them together, but they're our way of interacting, so that way we can answer questions together, debate about questions, and have a hell of a time. Now, hopefully in the future, maybe some of y'all would like to do collab type videos where you send in your questions as an actual video, and then we, go over it that way and include your video clip of your question into the video itself. And as I go and I figure out how to do the live with the laptop or something along that lines, I'm going to start doing these live, so that way not only we can do them longer, but we can interact and have a great time asking and answering questions and debating live, where you ask a question or talk about it in the chat and we just go over it right then and there. You know what I mean? I think that would be a lot more funner, but until we get to that point in time, we're going to continue doing these. And even after we do the lives, I might not always be able to do live, so these type of videos will probably still exist on the channel. But I like having these videos where it's not just my video, it's all of our video. You know what I mean? This isn't just my video. This is our time to sit here as a community, talk about questions, debate about the ideas that we all share, or maybe we disagree on, or whatever be the case, So I hope y'all had a great time. I will make another video tomorrow. Just, feel free to fill the comment section up with as many questions, ideas, theories, whatever you have, whatever you want to share, whatever you would like to have talked about. Feel free to fill the comment section up as many as you want. I don't care if you comment 100 times or if you don't comment at all. It's up to you. But thank you for subscribing if you're subscribed to me. Thank you for watching, even if you're not subscribed to me. I appreciate it. Maybe if you did enjoy, smash that like button. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Let me know why you didn't like it. I enjoy the feedback. We're here to grow, and you can't grow without people not letting you know and not giving you feedback. So I appreciate it, everyone. I hope y'all had a great night. I want to thank Bonsai Kai Dojo, Sensei and Guest Sensei. I want to thank all of my subscribers. I want to thank all of my moderators. Y'all all kick ass. And that'll be it, everyone. As always, stay badass. See you next time.